Good evening. It's Sunday, July 15th, and it's time for the HideNet Week in Review. I'm Managing Editor Vera Dordick, and I'm sitting in for Don Osmond, who's vacationing this weekend. From South America, our editor Ronald Guiel tells us that Brazil's domestic market was quiet again last week. The upcoming European holidays are slowing business, and the dollar exchange rate continues to drive customers to try and renegotiate existing contracts in conjunction with confirming new orders. We also have reports this week. Data cited in several news items confirm the slower market so far this year, especially for Brazil, which saw the June export of hides and skins drop 9.4% in value compared to last year, even though volume was up about 11%. That said, it was still an improvement of 32.5% over the total of exports in May, mainly because of the truckers' strike that disrupted the country's entire economy. On top of that, the Brazilian Footwear Industry Association reported that exports in the first half of the year fell 6.7% in volume and 7.9% in revenue compared to 2017. Industry experts are saying that any improvement this year that might come about would be seen in the second half and not likely until the tail end of the year. In other areas of Latin America, sources in Argentina say business is softer. Mexican leather sector activity rose 1.7% in May, and Uruguayan footwear exports last year were slower. Turning to Europe, Andrea Guolo, our editor there, reports that activity is almost at its seasonal stop for the approaching August holiday. Declining prices in the United States are having an effect on a number of European selections, and in fact, some had further declines this week. A number of cow origins saw another 5-cent drop. Andrea also says that come fall, a number of origins could see further substantial decreases. And if you check out this week's report, you can get more details on his forecast. In addition, he has a number of interesting news items, including detailed figures on Italy's leather exports, which are still driving the market because domestic demand continues to be weak. Turning to the United States now, after sizable decreases over the past few weeks, prices were steady to lower again this week, but not so drastically lower. Heavy Texas steers dropped by $1, while a number of popular selections held steady, albeit on much lower volumes. Export sales this past week were again outstripped by the level of slaughter, as were shipments. And this week's U.S. report also has an interesting item by guest editor Craig Rolson about the market for low-grade material. It's a very interesting read, so you'll definitely want to have a look at that. So that's the roundup of what was another disappointing week of business for many. Join us again next week for another edition of HideNet's Sunday Night Week in Review. Until then, have a good week and good night.